8 players, Tripper captain flopped, but still managed a green arrow. Strange. With the 31st game week of the season completed, let's take a look at how my team performed and my transfer thoughts for Game Week 32. Ahead of Game Week 31, I took a -4 hit and transferred Shaw for Rice and Son for Mane. In addition, I chose to activate my Tripper captainship. For Game Week 31, I got 41 points, 15 points above the Game Week average, proving my ranking by 60,000 places. In the My FPL Strategy League, my position has 2 improved. Shout out to Team Unknown who has regained his top spot. Now let's take a look at how my team performed and my transfer thoughts for Game Week 32. Bournemouth recorded their 5th draw of the season in a 2-2 draw against Newcastle. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much from Boras. Nonetheless, the Polish international did register 3 saves, returning 2 points as expected. Bournemouth face Leicester City next before they embark a good run of fixtures, but don't have a double game week fixture in Game Week 32. A late penalty keeps Liverpool's title challenge on track in a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Fulham. Robertson had a decent display, made some good attacking runs, but his final ball wasn't quite up to his usual standards. Was unlucky not to record an assist with a quality ball in the second half, which Ronaldo should have done better with. In the end, due to conceding a single goal, the Scotsman only returned 2 points for match appearance. Liverpool face Spurs next, a difficult fixture on paper. I've activated my free hit chip, and my plan is to exchange Robertson for a Chelsea defender. A late double helps West Ham to a dramatic 4-3 comeback over Huddersfield. Ahead of Game Week 31, I brought in Rice in hope that West Ham will keep a clean sheet against a team who's failed to score in 4. But somehow Huddersfield managed to score 3. Wow. So despite the fight back, the centre back only returned a single point. From Game Week 33 onwards, West Ham have a difficult run of fixtures, playing Chelsea, Man United and Spurs in the next 6. Plus, the Hammers have only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 14 games. Salah blanks for the 6th time in 8 Premier League games. With only 8 players on show, I took a gamble on Tripper captaining Salah, but it was only in the final 15 minutes that Salah posed any kind of threat. But even when chanced with a 1-on-1 opportunity just before full time, the Egyptian failed to find the back of the net, now failing to score in 5. Salah's up against Spurs next, a fixture that actually favours the Egyptian. Salah has scored 5 goals in 7 meetings against Tottenham. However, despite his good record, I've already exchanged the Egyptian for Sterling before the price rise. Everton dents Chelsea's top 4 hopes in a 2-0 defeat at Goodison Park. A one-sided first half performance with Hazard hitting the post and Chelsea recording no fewer than 10 attempts on goal. But the Blues were left empty-handed with goals from Richarlison and Sigurdsson in the second half, ending the Blues' 7-game unbeaten run in all competitions. Chelsea have 2 desirable fixtures in Game Week 32, facing Cardiff away followed by Brighton at home. In the last fixture against Cardiff, Hazard scored a hat-trick in a 4-1 victory, so the Belgian international spot in my team remains firmly intact. Mane delivers again in a 2-1 victory over Fulham. Ahead of Game Week 31, there was rumours that Mane could potentially miss the clash against Fulham. This discouraged, including myself, many FPL managers in captaining the informed midfielder, which ultimately proved to be costly. Mane went off to score the opener and won the penalty in the dying minutes, returning a solid 13 points. He has now scored 11 goals in his last 11 competitive starts. A bit of a shame I didn't have the courage to captain the midfielder. Mane is up against Spurs next. Despite his rich form, it's likely I will transfer the midfielder to a double game week player. King bags a brace in a 2-2 draw against Newcastle. King looked to have completed a Bournemouth comeback, equalising the scoreline before grabbing his second 9 minutes from time. but a late volley from an ex-Bournemouth player snatched Newcastle an epic late draw. Nevertheless, King's overall performance earned him 3 additional bonus points, returning a whopping 13 points. King is up against Leicester City next. In the last meeting between the two clubs, the forwards recorded an assist and scored a goal in a 4-2 victory. Higuain disappoints in a 2-0 defeat against Everton. It wasn't the best game for the striker, looked frustrated for large parts of the game. He was substituted in the second half, returning just 2 points for match appearance. Despite Chelsea having 2 fixtures in Gameweek 32, it's unlikely he will feature in my team. However, the forward could be a good option for those looking for differentials. So moving on to my transfer thoughts for Gameweek 32. As alluded to earlier, like many other FPL managers, I've activated the free hit chip. My objective is to get a full 11, all with double fixtures. Out of the 10 teams, the fixtures that particularly interest me is the Man City vs Fulham and Cardiff, the Chelsea vs Cardiff and Brighton, the Crystal Palace vs Huddersfield and Tottenham, and the Man United vs Watford and Wolves. At the moment, as long as there's no injury surprises, the players that will feature in my team almost certainly are Sterling, Aguero and Hazard. I think I'm likely to keep Edison in goal. He's pretty much a safe bet, less likely to get rotated. Despite Chelsea's dip in form, I'm looking into the Chelsea's back line, and the likes of David Luiz, for example, he may get nudged. For my differential picks, Crystal Palace appeals to me. The likes of Michy Batshuayi, or even perhaps Townsend, who's up against his old club at the new stadium. At the moment, I'm not too keen on Watford or Wolves player. I think those teams will have one eye on the FA Cup semis, so I'm expecting some rotation on their key players. A lot to dwell on, and I'm sure my final team selection will keep on changing to the very last day. But if you would like to see my final team, be sure to follow me on Twitter. All my details in the description below. And that's all from me today, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.